Previously on Another Day.
Hi, I'm Naomi. My parents have decided that they want to go on a new adventure and leave our childhood home. Basically, I'm moving.
It's crazy, you could drown in this car.
So I've tried to film this several times, and then one time, well, yesterday, I found out that several clips I did was in slow-mo. This is a new camera. I don't know what I'm doing. Where we stand is currently in my room. Dramatic change. We'll get into it a little bit more later on. In this one, I don't really know what I'm doing. Hi, today we're getting the room sorted. If this looks really weird, I'm actually filming on my phone because currently camera is being charged and so is the other camera battery. All of my cameras are dead. I just moved. Leave me. Today we're gonna get the room sorted. Is not the way that I wanted this room set out. It's very claustrophobic, Darren. So the plan is, the goal, the ambitions, the vibes. As I stated previously, this wardrobe isn't mine. This was my sister's. She didn't have space in her place for this anymore. Came back to us. Now we've moved. It's here. I don't need this. Do I have clothes that need to be in a wardrobe? 1000%. Do I have space for a wardrobe in here? No. This gotta go. Boxes literally everywhere. I'm currently using as a bedside table. Chest of drawers. Love it. Needs to be in here. What was I even saying? I feel like I went on a tangent. Welcome to my brain. It is a mess place. Yeah, bed is here currently. Obviously the mirror that has been in my room. This isn't how the room is supposed to be. I can't even guesstimate the size comparison to my room, but it's very different. The radiator in a weird place in here is also, I'm suspecting, one double plug. As a person who is a tech person, I thought it was bad having two in my room in like the same place. I now have one. It's a problem. So today we are going to try and rectify this room so it feels a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more space, a little bit more vibes. I don't know if it's going to meet my requirements completely. This room is a temporary space, but I need to be able to live in it. So here's the plan. Ideally, I would like the bed closer to the wall that is jutted out, be a nice like little step kind of thing. So then my bed would be facing this way like this, or it does fall out into being a double bed. We'll see if we can get it in the space. Might have to cut my bed a little bit. Bedside table next to my bed, naturally. And then chest of drawers maybe here. I'm aware that that might block out a space a little bit. Mirror-wise, I'm not entirely sure where the mirror is going to go yet. This mirror that you're currently sat on, not supposed to be in here. She gotta go, she gotta go. Let's get cracking, shall we? We started by removing the biggest bit of furniture in the room, which is obviously the wardrobe. My parents have a plan to use this later on somewhere else in the house, so we're just going to move that downstairs, and I obviously needed an adult present to help me with this, because difficult, but also we did that so well. Unfortunately the bed didn't fit the way that we wanted it to fit, so we just flipped it over and put it the other way around, and it honestly looks a lot better than anticipated, and this is just me making it super cozy so I feel a little bit more settled. And this was the final outcome and what we were left with after all the moving. When I was packing these, I felt really smart, and I will tell you as for why. So each of my clothes boxes, I put Naomi's clothes and then how many I was looking for. And then I had like a contents sheet on the top of all of them. Ah, there's one. Little content sheet. So when I opened the box, I would know exactly what was in that box, because I knew that this was going to be a trial. So felt really smart. I've just decided I want to take this down, so I'm going to do that at 8 minutes past 10. Looking at the car makes me sick. So I'm going to do that. Watch me break my frickin' TV that I've just put up there, but...
You're like exactly what would be the stand-up comedy goes in my bedroom. Let's go for it. And he's sitting there. But so we were looking at this with this massive hug. He's great to meet you, mate.
I'm good.
Anyway, like fucking hell.
You know what? That feels so much better instantly. I feel better. It was like those things every time I woke up were just screaming at me. It feels echoier in here. I'm better. So it's been like 3 seconds for you, but in real time it's been maybe a month. I've decided what I'm going to do with this room, and that involves painting. I quite like personally the Japandi style. It's Scandinavian and like a Japanese kind of very airy, quite minimalist. So I quite like that. So that's the kind of colour scheme that we're going with. I also quite like the mid-century kind of thing that's going on. Actually, I'll show you my plan. I drew a plan because I'm so interior design apparently these days. So this is this, but it basically means we put bookshelves in, or not bookshelves, but like shelves in, and then like having a blind kind of situation and bits like that. I'm also going to be making a TV stand for my TV because currently my TV is just sat on my Xbox. It doesn't look nice. It just looks, and I kind of want to be a bit more, what's the word? It's probably the word that describes exactly why I can't think of a different word for it. Intentional. There we go. I want to be a little bit more intentional with what I'm doing as opposed to just doing stuff, you know? These walls are going to be kind of grey. Not grey. Like sandy grey-ish. And I can't decide because I kind of want to do either grey, like a dark coal granite grey, or like a dark green. Kind of like this, which is actually from my friends that brought me for like a moving in gift, which is so nice of them. And I was going to do like a massive unveiling and be like, this is so cute, but then I couldn't get to my blankets the other day, so I had to open it, and it's stunning. And I kind of want to do a feature wall, but hear me out, I'm not entirely sure where I want to put the feature wall. It's either going to be where the shelves are going to be, like that entire wall is going to be that colour, or I'm going to do little archways around the shelves, or I have so many ideas. Maybe painting like the door framey bit. The other plan, the other idea, the concept, but I don't know if it's going to come to fruition, was the end of my sentence that I've now forgotten. Paneling? Is that what it's called? Paneling? But like the nice ones with the squares. Oh my god. All in all, I haven't done much and it's been a month, but today's the day when we go get paint. Started off in my favourite place, you guessed it, B&M, for the ceiling paint and the other tools. I unfortunately didn't record any of the actual paint getting. Video of me eating a sandwich in between going to one place to the other. Once I got back, I started undoing everything that I had done in my room to make it look cozy so I could start painting straight away. Obviously, I'm going to have to share a montage with you of me moving everything because that's my favourite bit in any film, is when they do little montages of changes. So, ergo, gonna do it here as well. You're gonna have to endure, sorry. I also thought that this was probably the prime time for me to measure up for some new blinds. Turned out to be a really difficult task in itself. I don't understand what I'm doing. Into the garden to grab some plastic to cover my bed in instead of the paint. Lovely. As you can see, we have moved, oh my god, moved everything out. I've moved everything out. Today is painting day. Let me show you what I got. I got a paint kit. Big pole, so I can reach the ceiling without having to like stand on a ladder and move all the time. I'm also going to be polyfillering. So this is ready mix fill. Never used it before. Quite excited. I'm going to be doing the ceiling white. So a good YouTuber would have filmed the experience of getting the paint. I didn't. I also would have had the cards with me so you could tell what colours I was doing, but I left them at the paint shop. Starting off, I decided I'll be smart and I'll do the polyfillering first, or the fillering of the holes. So now I'm removing any trace of the brackets that used to scream at me when I woke up first thing in the morning, filling in any holes that had crevasses and cracks, which turned out to be quite a bit. And here we are getting ready to paint my fancy little suit. Look at me, look like a marshmallow. I look like I know what I'm doing. To professional, hire me as your local painter. I'll be painting your ceilings mixy, pory, and we're ready to begin. This is fun, isn't it? You can literally watch paint dry with me. Look at that technique. Beautiful. I'll never understand how I can use tools so far away from my body and yet I'll still get paint on me. It's a talent to be anything. This is the first coat. And then we're going to just go in with a second coat. I can't remember if this is the same day or another day. Obviously trying to do a really crisp edge. Not that it really matters, considering I've bumped the wall multiple times. And this is the second coat. All diddly done. Beautiful. It looks really dark, but dries lighter. Somehow covered in paint, as always. Okay. And then I did a little bit more polyfillering because I realised there's a crack underneath the ledge. started taping up for the next day for some actual paint. And whilst we're learning new skills, I decided that this was the prime time for me to learn how to take down a blind. I've never had to do this before. It was a struggle and a half, and thank goodness someone on the internet knew that this was going to be a problem and put up a tutorial on how to remove these blinds, because once I learnt that, absolutely knew what I was doing. Look at that, professional. Wouldn't even know. That thing comes out, that pops out, look at that, so happy. And that was it. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. It was actually very, very difficult. It's paint day, like official paint day. I was going to show you the colours and then I realised that you can't actually physically see them. This is the main colour. This is Riverbend. And then I also have the feature wall. I've decided this bit here, this wall here, is going to be a greeny colour. Again, you can't see it. Trafalgar grey. I'm going to start with the main colours. That was the most difficult paint I've ever had to open in my entire life. As you know, you got to spin the paint, you got to drippy, and then you got to paint the smallest area first, because you don't want to overwhelm yourself. At least that's my excuse. I started in the smallest area, worked my way outwards, had a good time until I found places that would not pick up the paint, and it was just kind of, I don't know, it was just rejecting it. I don't know why. And obviously you have to get the little details even if you've already bumped the wall several times and you're going to have to go over the ceiling. So as you can see, it's not that bad of a colour. I don't mind this. It's not as dark as it was. Today we are tackling this, which is going to be the feature wall. Paint reveal time. Excuse the mess that I made yesterday. Ooh. It's like a greeny grey colour. Yeah. So I'm going to tape up the walls. I've already got that paint everywhere. I've run out of tape, so we're just going to have to raw dog it, aren't we? I didn't realise the little nooks and crannies that I was going to have to do with paint until I started doing this. Also, if you ever want to test your perfectionism, I suggest trying to do a feature wall in an old crooked house where all the walls are a little bit lopsided, because that really tests your patience when you're trying to get a nice crisp wall. Just a thought, just a theory. It should be part of a boot camp, really. That was a rhyme, unintentionally. Decided on this wall I'm going to do panelling. If you want to know where to get panelling from, I just Amazoned it. You can get them in a kit. I got the basic one, which means that you basically only get the shorter planks, and you get 5. You get 5 in a box, but also the glue. The way that I wanted it, I actually needed a second box. But I also realised that they did the long beams as well as the short beams. It's better to buy a complete one as opposed to not a complete one. I could have saved myself a lot of trouble and just buy a full kit as opposed to buying 2 kits. And also, 1 plank of these is that, which is great. However, that's not equal, basically. I'm gonna have to cut one of them down, 2 of them down, and then the panels. But here's my plan. Full length. I have to do a little poly filler in the middle, and then we'll put in these along here, like so. Maybe we glue the bottom bits on first, and then measure up what we need to cut, and then cut them, because I want the middle bits to be shorter. I have no idea what I was singing in that clip, so if anyone knows, let me know. And here I am just measuring it up, making sure I've got the right thing. I did get a far more experienced person to cut it for me. Sanded it down though, big girl. And here I am learning out how to use a glue gun machine. I can't think of what that apparator is, but here I am, icing it like a beautiful cake, slapping it on a wall. Marvellous. And then we're going to do a little speed round. So I've lost the audio for this apparently, like through the editing thing. So here I am, just bigging up myself because I cut everything very inaccurately all the time, but I cut these by myself with like a handsaw that you saw previously, and they're all absolutely bang on perfect. Like, I don't think I've ever done anything more accurate in my whole entire life. So if you think you can't do things, give it a go anyway. And sometimes it works out amazingly, and sometimes you just need to practice a little bit more. But it's all good. I'm so chuffed by how well that turned out. And sadly, I didn't film myself painting it, but this is the grand reveal. I went for that charcoaly black grey colour for that bit. Amazing, super. And that's all she wrote, ladies and gentlemen. That's all I have footage-wise for this project. That's not true. I've got footage from me doing the blinds, but I've decided that I'm going to do a part 2 for this video, mainly because I want to keep it under 15 minutes. Oh god, are you okay? Mainly because I want to keep it under 15 minutes just for viewing purposes, but also my laptop literally will not allow me to do any more editing on this project, otherwise I don't know, it might like cry at me in the middle of the night. We're going to leave it here. We're going to do a part 2 where we're actually filling the room with things. Interior designing as opposed to the first stage of it. But I hope you enjoyed the video nevertheless. Thank you for coming on the journey with me, if you've watched it for this long. And I will catch you guys on the flip side. Have a beautiful day, and I will see... Beautiful. That was very British, wasn't it? I will catch you guys on the flip side. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you next time, either with the part 2 of this video or a different one. I haven't decided yet. Bye!